they gave me an estimate of how much it will cost. Yomo, the estimate is real. It's cheaper than the one I even sent you.
Wow.
Building contractors, foremen, masons. Visit IPCP, the Trasaco Fast Floor. Engineers will assist you build an affordable, faster and stronger building.
Oh, madam. It is done.
Wow.
Trasaco Fast Floor. Stronger, faster and affordable.
This is a Trasaco construction product.
Well, it is obvious that Alaji and Alaji has no size. It has become the most popular talk show in this country and has reigned for more than 10 years. Next week, on the 18th of December, we will take the program to another level. On the premises of Pan-African Television, we invite all of our patrons and general public to participate directly in Alaji and Alaji. Come, listen to the various contributors and make your own comments known on the state of the economy, working parliament, everything, international relations and everything. Please join us next week Saturday, the 18th of December on the Alaji and Alaji talk show. Come with your friends to join this discussion at the premises of Pan-African Television in Tabilimbe. Join us in discussing the issues of our time.
People into the land of freedom. He's the Redeemer.
Welcome to Monday. Welcome to the Newspaper Review segment here on Pan-African Television. My name is Kwame Owusu, Danso. Super excited, as always, to come your way with the Newspaper Review segment. On the show, we try as much as possible to pick the topical stories and then we discuss them elaborately. This morning is no exception. No, that's not it. Yeah, I'll use that. I'll give it to you. I'll need that for now. Yeah. We are going to be touching on a number of issues here on the show. Let me quickly just take you through them, and then I will introduce officially my panelists for today's conversation. Now, the Daily Graphic has reported something which was said by the president. It says free SHS is a success. Free SHS is a success. Persons with disability angry over exclusion from the 2022 budget. There is no hardship. Complaining Ghanaians are living above their means. Northern Regional Minister is indicating to us that there is no hardship in Ghana, and that if you are complaining, then it means that you are living above your means. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa tests positive for COVID-19. Interesting story there. Now, I've been joined in the studios by Dr. Nawani. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Nana Desmond Into. Good morning. Good morning. Right. So these are the topics. These are my panelists. Be kind to share with us what your thoughts are. We will be kind to read them here for you on the show. Let's quickly start the conversation with the African story. Cyril Ramaphosa tests positive for COVID-19. Doc.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks to the viewers of Pan-African TV. I'm here today after a very long break.
No, because we were busy. Not because we didn't invite you. Don't say what you're about to say. Because you were busy. Oftentimes I was told that you were always in your constituency.
Yeah,
and so it was practically impossible to get hold of you.
On Mondays.
So
I was told that Mondays is for only female.
Well, we decided to do that because we're not getting you.
No. That's what I was told. So I was thinking that I might have to be rescheduled for the rest of
the subsequent days. Okay.
Subsequent days.
Okay.
But
that could be arranged. That's not a problem.
Yes. it never happened.
No. Well,
this is the policy of.
I will take the blame.
To take Monday from.
I will take the blame.
Those who come on Monday. That could be shared among those who come the other days.
Definitely, I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame. And on behalf of myself and my team, we apologize. We apologize quite greatly.
Yeah, so let me greet my people in our language. Like Uri Katipunya Tawa be Pan African TV.
Yeah.
Kanzila Kantana. Kana kuweta nye Tawa. President Ramaphosa was in Ghana here recently. And we know that I think he was here for a celebration. One of the chiefs in I think Eastern region was having his some celebration that he came here. Yes, and he joined our president to be at that function. And after he left, we are hearing that he's tested what? Positive. Positive for COVID.
I don't know whether he even got COVID.
That is quite unfortunate that we should be hearing this news after his recent visit to Ghana. And I'm hoping that it is not from Ghana that actually he was infected with COVID. I'm hoping that it's just after he left, then it might have happened. In any case, I believe that his visit to Ghana was very good. I mean, we're very happy to have him here. We were very happy that he came to grace the occasion for us. And I'm hoping that, this COVID cases has now become internationally problematic because some of these Western countries, including UK, I don't know whether Australia is included, and some of these European countries have decided that some African countries, or they've blacklisted some African countries, including South Africa, Nigeria, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and so many other countries, because of the fact that they were pioneers in discovering the Omicron virus, and that is quite unfortunate. The fact that they took part, or they were the early discoverers of this virus in their territory, doesn't mean that actually there's something special about it. And I must even say that thanks to the level that we've gotten to, this virus, or this variant of the virus, appears to be much less lethal than the previous one, Delta. And some people are even saying that, we thank God that a lesser evil is replacing Delta. And so this decision to ban these countries, I believe that it is simply not fair. I know that if they continue in that direction, eventually our country, Ghana, might also become victims of that. So that is the extent to which this, I'll say, the politics of coronavirus is affecting our country and some other countries. But whatever the situation is, I hope that the president, I believe by now he's vaccinated, and I know that all those who are vaccinated, when they even get this virus, the cause of it is mild compared to those who have not vaccinated. So I'm hoping that he's vaccinated, and then the cause of it will be mild for him. And I'm also hoping that possibly our president has to go for a test. Not all our presidents, but some people who were in contact with him, like the chiefs and other people, they all have to go for a test and ensure that no, they are not infected, they are free from the virus, and life goes on. We must understand that this virus is such that it will reach a stage where we have to live with it. This is the state that we've gotten to. We have to live with it. We have to understand its dynamics. In some countries, they are even giving what we call the booster doses.
Okay.
That's the third. Some countries are even on the fourth vaccination, all in an attempt to control the virus. And very soon, I'm hoping that African countries will also be able to manufacture our vaccines. That is the direction that we have to go. Manufacture, or they'll bring some of the other manufacturing plants that are in Europe and the Americans. They'll bring them down to Ghana and other African countries, so that we can also manufacture our vaccines and use it on our people. Because currently, the rate at which we are rolling out the vaccine, to me, is a bit slow.
Right.
And all has to do with the acquisition of these vaccines. Yeah, acquisition of these vaccines. And then the educational aspect. As we speak now in Ghana, I'm telling you that there are a lot of young, educated men and women who you just will take it for granted that they will understand the essence of vaccination that are not going in for this vaccine. And so the educational aspect need to be very, very strong. I understand some people are calling for legal and all those stuff. Illegal, yes, but all the same, I believe that we need to carry out a total education of the populace. We should bring in the civic education unit. We should bring in the radios and televisions, the social media. We should bring all these components in to ensure that people understand the essence of vaccination and how important it is, not only to protect yourself, but to protect your loved ones. Not only to protect yourself, but to protect your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather, those elderly people in the family who you always go to greet. If you are not vaccinated and you go there to greet them, you go there to interact with them, to socialize with them, you might not die, but you don't know what will happen to them. And that is why I'm saying that it is very, very important that this vaccination that we claim we want to roll, December has been declared a vaccination month, and it's very good for our mission. But I know that the target for December will not be met. It's a time that people are very, very busy, people are moving about, and so it will not be met. But I'm hoping that eventually we will be able to hit a certain figure, and we shouldn't stop there. It should be a continuous process until we achieve our target. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Dr. Nawani. Let me just quickly make this announcement. On the premises of Pan-African Television, on December 18th, Alaji and Alaji will go public. And, I'm sure you've seen the ads on Pan-African Television. Audience should be seated by 8 a.m. in the morning on the 18th, which is this weekend. Pan-African Television is in Abelinkwe. You will never get lost. If you have Google Map, you can just punch in Pan-African Television, it will bring you here. The audience will also have time to contribute live on the show. It's going to be very exciting, and I trust that all of you are going to be here. Let me say a special good morning and a happy birthday to Ivy Abera Dede Nakite. Today is your birthday. Today you turn 19 years. Ivy, today you turn 19 years. So happy birthday to you. We appreciate you, and may God grant you all your heart desires. Yesterday in the evening at about 6:49 p.m., I received a surprise call from Honorable A.B. Fuseni, because he hardly ever calls me around that time. And he indicated to me that they were stuck in between Dawadawa number 1, as well, in between Dawadawa number 1 on the Kintampo Road. I think Kintampo, between Kintampo and Dawadawa.
I think
Bupe, yes, Kintampo, between Kintampo and Bupe, Dawadawa number 1. And that they had met an armed robbery which was ongoing at the time, yesterday at 6:49 p.m. In fact, he said, but for the fact that he had stopped to pray, I'm sure they would have walked straight into it. And yeah, and it wasn't just him. A lot of political figures, individuals, ordinary market women, farmers, everybody was caught into it. They shot at vehicles. They had robbed a few people. I don't know whether the police was swift enough to respond to our demands, because Pan African Television made the announcement. I posted it on my Facebook and on my Twitter. We're going to be speaking to Honorable A.B. Fuseni to find out the situation and whether or not they were able to be dispatched, as you know, we're all hoping that they would. So my producers are working on the lines to call him. When as and when we get him, we will put him on air. Let me hear from him too on this Ramaphosa issue, please.
Thank you very much, and let me say a very good morning to yourself and to Honorable. This is my first time meeting him on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a veteran on the show.
Yes, but this is my first time meeting him.
Okay.
On Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I've been watching him, but
okay.
Like I said, my first time meeting him.
Okay.
Kwame, and then a very good morning to my constituency, Ekwapim North.
Samuel Oku is also coming. Samuel Oku is chasing.
He's welcome.
Yes.
He's welcome.
It will be an interesting battle.
He's welcome.
I don't know who to support now. Since you're also going.
He's welcome. So,
okay.
And a very good morning to Mr. Joe Benson and then Kopstongo. Joe Benson is a Kropon and Kopstongo is in the Cape Coast. Kwame, this issue of South African president getting COVID raises concerns, like Honorable said. He recently left Ghana, came, visited a few people. In fact, he even had meetings with our president and few, leadership in government. And so for him to go back to his country and all of a sudden we hearing that he has COVID, then it's a bit worrying, and it baffles my mind to ask a few questions that has he been vaccinated before he came in, or even though one has been vaccinated, we are still at risk? Because for what I know, I don't know, but I stand to be corrected. If somebody is vaccinated and still goes ahead to be getting COVID, then what is the essence of we wasting so much money on the vaccines? Because we were made to believe that because of this COVID, that is why all other countries are spending huge sums of money to be able to acquire the vaccines to ensure that its citizens do not contract this virus. But as it stands now, it is becoming worrying, because for a whole president to leave your country, a country like Ghana, and goes back to South Africa, and all of a sudden we are hearing of he getting COVID, then thorough investigation needs to be done, because for me, the people he met here, who did he meet, and on what occasion, which occasions did he attend, and if indeed we can do further investigations as to how come he was able to contract this virus, it is going to help both Ghana and South Africa. But this also calls to the fact that people entering our countries, people entering Kotoka, how do they check them? Because we hear there's a new wave out there, Omicron, and as it stands now, I don't know whether we have even reported of any case in Ghana. But how do they protect our airports? How do they protect our borders? Because if care is not taken, just as we claim we are trying to protect the ordinary citizen, we may end up, contracting some of these viruses, and if care is not taken, it is going to affect our nation. But you see, Kwame, that also brings back to our mind about what our president said in July. In February this year, our president told us that by July, he was going to vaccinate 20 million Ghanaians. July came, he came back and said, in December, he's going to vaccinate 20 million people. But I asked, even as we speak, we have a little over 30 million vaccines out there. And so what informed the president to tell us that he's going to vaccinate 20 million Ghanaians by July and 20 million by December? I don't know whether in February, while he was talking, he thought that the population of Ghana will exceed 40 million, because by then the census results was not out. And when the census result came out, we realized that now we are 30.8 million people. And for the president to tell us that he's going to vaccinate 20 by July, another 20 by December, it baffles my mind. And so some of these things we need to check. We don't need to be just talking, and we need to find out why or what informed the president to say all that he has been saying over a period of time. But Kwame, before I end, because I realize Honorable has dealt into the matter, you ask yourself, how ready are we as a nation to make sure that these Omicron, these various waves that is coming out, how are we going to make sure that it doesn't enter our country? How strict are we? From what I'm seeing and from what I've been reading or hearing, if care is not taken, things will get out of hand, because we have politicized these virus, politicized even the procurement of the vaccines to an extent that when you want to even talk about it, people think that you want to do propaganda. Meanwhile, that is not propaganda. The reality is on the ground. How many people, what are the announcement, what announcement have we been doing so far with regards to this COVID? Ask yourself, when this COVID came in, last year, March, the president himself stood on the national television and said he was going to fight this virus. Yes, we saw various pickups being branded COVID-19 pickups. There were megaphones on it making announcements, ensuring that people will adhere to safety protocols. But what has changed? Kwame, when was the last time you saw those pickups doing an announcement? And when was the last time they even brought an advert to you, to your studio, Pan African, to air it, for people to know that yes, the virus is still in existence? We were having weekly updates. Ministry of Information, the president himself, we have stopped all this. So sometimes my grandmother in the village asks, Kwame, are you sure it's not because you guys want some money, that's why you claim there's a virus? But the virus is out there. Meanwhile, we are not doing anything about it. All we do is to, talk about money, go in for money, people sharing oil, rice, and what have you, and it doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
The main our focus should be on how we can make sure we block the virus from entering various places.
All right.
We should stop politicizing this virus, and we move on as a country, Kwame.
Okay, thank you very much, Nana, this morning. So we are trying to get through to Honorable Ibi Husseini. We're struggling to get him. So those of you who are watching, if you are close to him, just tell him that he should pick up his call. His phone. We want to speak to him on yesterday's incident. All right. Let's discuss some other issues here. According to the Northern Regional Minister, and this story has been captured by the Daily Post newspaper, it appears there's no hardship in Ghana. He says that for those of you who are complaining about hardship, it means that you are punching above your weight. You are living above your means. So I don't know whether that is the situation. I don't know whether it is because we are living above our means, which is why we are all complaining. I don't know whether he doesn't know about how much government has brought so far. I don't know whether he doesn't know that there's not been any real investment, either capex or otherwise. I don't know whether he doesn't know that even our fiscal policy, for which reason Ghana was praised when MPP assumed the reins of power, has declined. I don't know whether he's forgotten that some of the monetary allocations to, for instance, common fund and things like that have been capped. I don't know whether he knows that. I don't know whether he knows that the CD to dollar is always fluctuates. I don't know. Maybe Into would know, because maybe Into appears to live beyond his means, or below his means. So you would be able to tell us if it is the case that if you live above your means, then that is when you would complain about some hardship in Ghana. But if you live below the average, wage, then you don't have any cause to complain.
Before you even ask so many questions, what is the minimum wage in Ghana? Kwame.
The man is saying that if you live above your means.
What is the minimum wage?
The man is saying that if you live above your means, it means that you will always complain about some hardship.
What is the meaning above your means? You said which? Where the
Northern Regional Minister.
Northern Regional Minister.
Yes. Where's the Daily Post? It's there somewhere.
Kwame. Northern Regional Minister. Is he in Ghana? Hey, Kwame. I'm surprised.
Don't be. He's in Ghana.
No, but Kwame, is it not somehow an insult to Ghanaians? Because you see, if somebody is complaining that we are in hard times, hardship, in fact, the country itself is broke, and they are aware, that is why they keep borrowing. And people, it's not even you, myself, or even Honorable alone, Kwame. When you go out there, it is clear. Even as we speak, Kwame, today's date is when? Today's date is when?
Today is, I think today is 12.
12.
Yeah.
Kwame, in those days, when it is somewhere 1st of December, you see the atmosphere changing. Christmas atmosphere changing. In fact, even at that time, you will see the Hamatan coming up.
Proper Hamatan.
Proper Hamatan. You see, now the system is so hot to extend that there's no Hamatan.
God is considering us with brains.
Come on, Kwame. See, you see, some of these things, when you talk about it, people will think that you are being too hard on the leadership of the MPP or the ruling government. But that is reality. People out there cannot even afford 3 square meals a day. And you will have a minister telling us this. It is an insult. How does he feel when he travels all the way from here to the northern region? When he meets his people, how much is he able to give to them? He should ask himself, in those days, when he goes there and he just pulls maybe 10,000 down, the number of people he can be able to give out that 10,000. And now, how many people can he afford helping with that 10,000? Civil servants, what is their pay? So, this MPP government, Kwame, what is wrong with them? So, can't they adhere to simple advice? Or it is a crime for us to advise them, knowing very well that things are not going on well? And so, for some of us sitting behind the park, we have seen that you are playing Zuku on the pitch. And so, we want to advise you that, look, if you give the ball to the midfield, he can also go and give it to the striker for us to score goals. Then we can have more points. But for you, you said, no, let me just send the ball back to my goal post. That is what is happening. It is bad.
Okay.
It is bad.
Remember I told you that
yes,
Honorable is
so you can speak to my
good morning.
Yeah, Kwame, good morning.
Can you increase the hello, Honorable?
Yeah, Kwame.
Can you increase the volume over there? How are you, sir?
Kwame.
How are you?
By the grace of the Almighty, I'm fine.
Hey, you didn't die?
No, he must leave.
Honorable, you didn't die?
I said don't want me to die.
Can you talk us through what happened yesterday, please?
There was not a pleasant one. It's very.
Hello. These are networks. We have to start suing them.
You see,
can you drop the call and call Honorable back, please?
In the midst of all these network challenges,
Charlie,
then you want to tax us 1.7.
And please, when I'm talking to Honorable, if you can mute the microphones of my panelists, I think I was getting feedback. So let's try and get through to Honorable Ibibsini again. Yeah, I'm happy my old man didn't die. Oh well, I'm sure he would take offense when I say he's an old man. Honorable is a young man. Yes.
Yes, Kwame. So when you look at the hardship that is in the country, if you look at the unemployment rate, if you look at the various companies that has folded up, the banks that has been collapsed, the microfinance institutions that has been collapsed, and you have a whole minister coming to tell Ghanaians that there's no hardship because you are living above what you are supposed to earn, then it is a crime. Let me put it that way. It is a crime. If not a crime, then I don't know which word to use again, because I'm surprised at his utterances. Some of these utterances doesn't speak well of a leader. It doesn't speak well of someone who is leading thousands of people. When people are in dire need of something, as a leader, this is the time for you to show how you care. This is when you have to be able to come out and tell us, yes, indeed, we accept, we know for the fact that things are not moving on well. And so if things are not moving on well, just exercise patience for us. At least things will move better. Then we can forgive you. But when you come out and tell us this kind of stories, come out and be talking as if we don't matter, as if we don't have sense, as if we have not even sat in classrooms before, it speaks volumes. It speaks the kind of arrogance. It speaks the way people see other Ghanaians when they are in power. And this thing has to stop. It has to stop. You see, people are complaining in the midst of hardship. You want to impose, look at the number of taxes, fuel taxes, petroleum taxes. People, even to an extent that you are taxing people on sanitation. We keep complaining. Remove some of these taxes. You said no. No, you are not going to do that. Once you are not going to do that, why do you still come out and tell us these stories?
Hello?
Some of these things.
Anyway, yeah. Yes, Honorable, so I think we lost you there. The network is terrible here in Accra.
Yeah.
Yes, so what happened yesterday? I think there was a distress call to me at 6:49 p.m.
Yeah, Kwame.
Yeah.
I was then on my way from Tamale through Kumasi coming to Accra. And we reached a place called Dawa Dawa number 1. Just at the outskirts, there's that section of the road is not too good. And so that is where the robbers laid ambush. And Kwame, but for the fact that the Almighty Allah is in charge, I was just going to land right inside the arms of the robbers.
Wow.
We had just closer there. I stopped to pray. I told the driver to stop for me to say my Maghrib and Isha prayers. So Kwame, the time I spent was just the car that was in front of me was actually caught in that ambush, and
wow.
For close to 30 to 45 minutes, Kwame, no car was coming from each direction at the scene of the robbery. And I can tell you that many of the people who were caught in the thing had very harrowing experiences to narrate to us when we eventually met some of them. And one is not a pleasant.
What did they tell you? What was the narration?
Look, if the first taxi driver who managed to come through after the robbers had dealt with him, they said he collected his money and shoved him around, then put a gun to his head and asked him to offload all the monies that he had on him. You know, and eventually, even when he was going, he showed us some mark, bullet mark
Wow.
On his vehicle. Another private guy driving, I think it was a Nissan, a car, a private car. No, I think he had also returned from abroad not too long ago. Showed us where they shot through. He managed to run through the illegal checkpoint they had set, and they shot. I think in an apparent attempt to deflate his tires, I think they shot through, and it hit where the rims. He showed us there and indicated that there were quite a number of people who were asked to lie on the road, come out of their vehicles and lie on the road, apparently to be searched and all possessions taken from them. It wasn't very serious anybody should want to go through.
Did the police finally come through?
Eventually, yeah. Eventually, it was the police. That's what I said. For about between 30 to 45 minutes, there was no action. The whole place, nobody could come, nobody could go, until the police came to intervene. In fact, it was the police that came to escort all of us through to the place. But even when the police came, I can tell you that some people were still really reluctant to go because they still had fear that the people were still laying ambush not too close. But I can tell you that, Kwame, the security on that route seriously needs stepping up. There have been many reports of armed robberies. I have heard a number of them, yes. But yesterday was the closest shift we came. I was just at the edge.
Wow.
Just at the edge, Kwame. And it's the Almighty Allah. And,
right.
I think that more very urgent steps need to be taken to beef up security on that road. It's not good enough. You have many checkpoints there, Kwame, and that's the surprising thing. You have many checkpoints on that road. But these things still happen in between the checkpoints. And so you wonder whether there is some very critical intelligence that these guys have of the movements of the police, or they are people who are very familiar with the location that they can take this rate and hold the whole road to ransom for 30 to 45 minutes before any attempt can be made to liberate the road again. Kwame, it's not good, especially in these times where the situation in the country is on the edge. As your people are on the panelists are saying, Kwame, there's too much hardship in the system.
Yeah.
And I think that this government must up its game. We have said it time with that number.
Okay.
That when you bring uninfested firewood to your house, you can't complain when you are visited by lizards. I'm sure the unemployment problem, nobody should attempt to justify anything, but in situations where you have some of these things happening, I think that we ought to, as a people, look the situation again. Even as we beef up security, we must forge long-term solutions to these problems and ensure that we get our people to work.
Yeah, I know you like to travel by road, but given the current situation, you may want to hold on traveling by road, please.
It's not a pleasant.
Right. Okay. Thank you. We wish you safe, and when you're on your way back to Accra, we wish you.
I don't know, because I was just telling you, we have a sitting today on Monday.
Yes.
For the fact that they indicated Monday, I would have even come to, but we're told that we'll be having a sitting today, and in these days, I'm sure you know the numbers are very important. So
you are returning today?
Everybody has to make sure that you are back in Parliament.
Oh, are you in Accra now?
I'm in Accra.
Hey, this man. Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah. Well, welcome back then.
Thank you very much, Kwame.
Please, next time, don't travel by road.
By His grace, I'm in one whole piece, and we shall continue the struggle.
Absolutely. Right, we'll talk later.
Thank you very much for the timeous manner in which you put out the information.
That is okay. That's okay.
I'm sure that it contributed to the alertness of the security, and I'm sure they were able to come and do something.
Absolutely. Thank you very kindly. All right. So, yeah, there you have it.
but the way you are advising him not to travel by road, I do agree.
No, I'm saying that so that he can feel it.
He can see the needs of the people. He can see
his people are in Sagnaru.
but when he goes through road, he can feel the pain what people are going through.
Well, that's true. That's true. To a very large extent, yes, that's true.
He shouldn't be like a president who will just be in the sky and
be baffled. Okay, let me come to the Tarawani on the other subject.
The Northern Regional Minister who does
not know whether.
But a friend just sent me a message and said ever since he took over as a regional minister, he has not been heard anywhere. So maybe this.
He wants to be heard.
He wants
to be heard correctly.
That's why some people watch him doing this.
He needs. You know the problem. The politicians think that they don't need PR people.
Yeah.
They need PR.
It's very important.
No, they don't know. How can you just go and talk like this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know somebody who will be by you to even write your speeches and to guide you and. But in Ghana, when you become a politician, they think that that's it. That's the end.
No, I mean, my dream.
Anyway, I even made proposals to Dr. Nawani and things like that, or not on the PR thing, but on something else.
But for you, you are his PR.
Dr. Nawani.
Yes.
Sure. The PR constituency. No, let's hear from you on this.
Yes. And that is it. You see, and that is what is making we politicians. I think that currently we are one of those professions that people appear not to respect as it should be. Yeah. And some of these things are contributing factors. If a regional minister can come and say that there are no hardships in Ghana, or if there's hardship, that you are living beyond your means. I thought he would say that if there are hardships, it only means that your pay is not enough to support you. Because once your pay can support you, then of course you think that there's no hardships. But this is a man, he's the regional minister, probably he's got a vehicle allocated to him. It is fueled for his movements.
You say probably.
He is living in a government bungalow. Electricity bills, I think they pay. No, it's paid for them. You know, their water bills are paid for them. He's living. He even has a cook, and he's being fed. These are that's the standard, and you come out to say something like this to the general populace, that if you are living, if you are suffering or there's hardship, then you are living above your means. What's the meaning of that? Corn, recently corn used to sell 1.5, I remember a year or two ago. I could buy corn at 1.5 a bag, that's a very big bag. Now corn is about 4 to 5 million. Yes. Is that also because somebody is living above his means? The same thing applies to so many other things. That now the cost, I know this government will not agree, but the cost of foodstuffs, I'm telling you, have skyrocketed, and we need to do something about it. I understand that the farming this year was not good, and we shouldn't expect something better from it because the supply of fertilizer. There was a time that the farmers were crying that, no, let's just get the fertilizer to the market for us. We'll use our own money to buy because we have already planted the crops. So we needed the fertilizer, and they couldn't get. So I'm not surprised that this year, when I went to the north, my mother just told me that, look, she asked for money for corn or something like that, and I gave 300 Ghana cedis, thinking that it can buy 2 or even 1. He said, no, this year it's not like that. And I'm telling you that it's a high time that we politicians, if you don't have anything to say, you better shut up. I think sometimes, if you are going to be interviewed, and you think you are not prepared for the interview, just tell the person that you go and come back next time, or I'm not prepared. But just to splash that, if you are complaining, it means that you are living above your means. What is the level that you've got to go beyond before you claim that you are living above your means? If you've got to pay, look at recently, fuel prices are up. Drivers want to go on strike. And when fuel goes up, everything also goes up. If you take practically every aspect of life, they say free SHS, but I don't know whether any of you have had your children in secondary school these days. Definitely, it is not as free as we think. There is an expenditure, and woe betides any headmaster or headmistress who comes out to talk about it, and then that person will be penalized. What I am trying to say is this: the daily expenditures that we know, rent, they are going up
by the day.
By the day. If you've got friends and maybe they mention rent, that help me pay my rent, you know that you are in trouble because it's a very big sum of money. When you ask school fees, very big sum of money. Everything that now people ask of you is a very big amount of money. So there's really hardships, and we don't seem to even understand government. Let me, you see, Ghanaians have lost trust in this government because they believe that they take in a lot of tax, but they don't see what the government is doing with all this money. Akufo-Addo said that we have no proof that his people are corrupt. Do we need to prove that somebody is corrupt? Is that part of our work? It's part of his work. That the machinery that he has in place should be looking for people who are corrupt. But that we don't have proof that these people are what? Are corrupt. And he appears that after saying that, as if he's satisfied with his own performance so far as the fight against what? Corruption is concerned. But that should not be the case. The case that we have is that we know that they take in a lot of tax, and as I'm saying now, what have they got to show for it? I think that's what Ghanaians want to know. And so Ghanaians feel that government, including the legislature, etc., we are taking in a lot of money, but we can't account for it. Whether it's due to corruption, it's due to bathing in the air, it's due to whatever it is, we can't account for it. And that is the cause of the hardships. We can't account for it. We have nothing to show for it. We're always coming to them again for money. And that is why the e-levy, let me tell you the e-levy, the opponents of e-levy are not saying that they are against taxation. But they are against taxation without production, or taxation without concrete evidence of what the tax is going to be used for. You say you're going to create employment, but we know what's happening now. Right? When unemployment, they say it's at around 12% or so, for the youth. But I'm telling you that it's far, far more than that. Or should I say that underemployment is far, far more than that. A lot of the youth, they think that they could have been, they have the ability to work harder and earn more money than that 500 Ghana cedis people are earning per month, and 400 Ghana cedis, 300, 800 Ghana cedis, 900 Ghana. Is that money that somebody can live on with even a family of two?
It's not easy.
Just a family of two. And you're saying that there's no hardships.
Anyway.
You know the cost of sending your child to kindergarten. Driving that child to school every morning and bringing her back.
Well, maybe he doesn't feel the hardship because he's being paid by the taxpayer. So it's okay. Let me go for this quick commercial break. When I return, we will have ample time to delve deeper into this particular subject matter. I think there's a lot of angles from where we can look at this issue. So let me just go for this commercial break. When I come back, we'll continue with the discussion. Stay with us.
But ask. Me, I have still not got the money for that list of expensive building materials you sent to me. The price of the iron rods have been increased too much, had I?
Madam, relax. Look, that's not why I even called. I just visited IPCP, where the engineers told me everything about Trasacco fast floor.
Trahuanko, please, those people are expensive. Are they not the people building those big houses in town? I beg, don't catch that guy.
Madam, in fact, I used to think the same until I visited their office today, and they gave me an estimate of how much it will cost. Yomo, the estimate is free. It's cheaper than the one I even sent you.
Wow.
Building contractors, foremen, masons. Visit IPCP, the Trasacco Fast Floor. Engineers will assist you build an affordable, faster and stronger building.
Oh, madam. It is done.
Wow. Owusu.
Trasacco Fast Floor. Stronger, faster and affordable.
This is a Trasacco construction product.
Every day he looks after his brother and chases a bus. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, and learns new things. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, and gets back home. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, gets back home, and helps his mom. Phew. That's why every day he needs his cup of Milo filled with the nutritious goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa. Milo, the energy to go further.
From Nestle.
This advert is FDA approved.
From that quick commercial break, I think that we can find a way of marrying the next topic and if there are outstanding issues that you have not dealt with relative to this hardship matter, then we can talk about. So let me start with Dr. Nawani on this free SHS business. President says free SHS is a success. True? False? What's your opinion?
It depends on
no, I mean,
at what angle?
Well, if it is your daughter alone, then it's successful. if it's pursuant to your daughter's grades, then that's one it is successful. But generally, your daughter is a beneficiary of free SHS, correct?
Yes.
So I'm saying that if it is subject to your daughter's results, and a few other results that I've seen on Twitter, people having 7 A's and 8 A's and things like that. That's why the free SHS is good. But generally,
I think that the president is as if he's saying that if you will not praise me, then I'll praise myself. You know, and he has taken the lead to praise himself and ensure that this message is sent across. There's whole results analysis have not yet come out completely. People are going in to hear their results, etc. And Some schools are not very happy. Even a lot of the students are not happy with their results, honestly speaking. And if you go to the northern part of the country, where I hail from, the results are not really anything to write home about. And I'm saying this because to assess free SHS and its impact, we should look at the results of the rural schools. We should look at the results of those who could not afford extra classes.
Yeah, like my school, Achimasa for St. Paul's Community.
Achimasa
St. Paul's Community Secondary School. One of the best senior high schools in Ghana.
Very good. Sure.
As fast.
So we have to go to areas, the rural areas or emerging urban centers that most of the people cannot afford extra classes for their students. If you come to the urban areas, most of the people who are attending Achimota, Presec, etc., they were, whenever there was a break, there was almost even a crash program where you could attend and then ensure that you cover a lot of topics before school reopens. So when school reopens, it's like a revision for you. So the parents will spend a lot of money to ensure that their wards got the best of extra tuition that eventually have led to some of the schools performing relatively not bad with good results, whilst those in the villages, like in the north, in the western, and some parts of possibly Volta, etc., OT, these parts of the country, you realize that most of them, the results are simply bad. I know of a school that, as we speak now, all those who have checked their results, nobody have even had a C6 in English and mathematics. And so I believe that the president is getting it all wrong. Simply put, if it was a social intervention, and we always say that social intervention is supposed to favor the poor, I'm telling you that this particular type of social intervention, free SHS, is saying that yes, we have more people going to school. They say around 1.6 million have passed through the free SHS. We have more students going to school. We have more girls and boys going to school. But we have a lot of them being dropouts. A lot of them having to go and do remedials. We are going to have a lot of them going back to the private schools to go and rewrite. And this time, when they are going to rewrite, they will pay. So we have, let's say, 100% going to write the exams. Dropouts going to be about 60% dropouts. Now these dropouts will be absorbed by the private schools, those who can afford, and now they go to pay for SHS. So the question we ask ourselves is that for this 60% or so, that will need to do some form of rewriting. Is SHS free at all? Is SHS free at all? But what about those who have gotten good results but had to put in a lot of extra classes? They had to pay
teachers,
teachers,
for extra classes,
for classes. We have to ask ourselves: is SHS free for also those people at all? And so I believe that the Minister of Education was in Parliament and he was also celebrating if we've been able to get 8 A's, a very big number. I think it's around 300 or 400 people getting 8 A's in Ghana here.
Out of the whole country?
Yeah, the whole country, yes.
300 people?
Yes. Yes.
What's the student population?
It's millions.
And then 300.
Yeah.
It is and they're happy.
And that
foolishness.
You know.
Foolishness.
And he was celebrating it. And I was saying that, oh.
Yeah, the room is beginning to become a disaster.
You know. I don't know his ambition, but I wouldn't be happy with that number, because gone are the days, I mean, Wesley girls alone can produce 100 of those
exactly
numbers. And you have Presec, you have Achimota,
Fantiman girls, Achima Safu,
all of them.
Yes.
You know, they could produce these numbers in big numbers. And so we shouldn't be happy that we are getting this type of results. And we should understand that we have something to compare with. There was something before free SHS came. We had an educational system that was there before free SHS came, and I'm thinking that if we had carried out a very good reform and had built infrastructure or completed infrastructure and absorbed all of them into it, I believe that the results would have been better than the green track and yellow track that we used to get these results.
Okay.
Yes.
Endo. See,
who's dead? Who's dead?
You know, the president made this free SHS pronouncement in my school, my former school, Okwapeman. Okwapeman, yeah, Okwapeman.
Who's
Deng, yes. He announced this free SHS when we were having our speech day, somewhere in February 2017. But I don't have a problem with the free SHS. My only problem is, Kwame, when you are rolling out a policy and the policy is coming out of campaign promise, this is what happens. Because in his mind or in the MPP's manifesto, they made a promise that when they come to power, they are going to do free SHS, whether it is going to help us to be able to achieve the purpose of which our students will be able to have quality education, they don't mind. And so either people are able to get good results and at the end produce better students who can compete out there internationally. That is the question we need to find out. Because as it stands now, one will ask, like Honorable is saying, out of over 400,000 students or so, if not more, we have only 300 people having 8 A's. So if you compare, for me, I always ask simple questions, Kwame. When Nana was Nana, when I say when Nana was Nana, when he was attending middle school and they did the middle school living certificate, they came to O level, took A level, went to the university. How was the education then? And how is the education now? Honorable, in those days, somebody will complete O level and the person can even write quality proposal that can secure better contracts. Now let's ask ourselves, this free SHS, people will complete university, simple proposal, it becomes a problem. And so you ask yourself, what are we portraying out there? I always say, people do home cry, outside gentility. That is what is happening. The president is able to stand on platform, announce to the whole world that yes, the free SHS is doing well. Meanwhile, when we come back home, people are crying. People will have to go and pay extra monies to be able to do receipt. Is the president going to take care of those receipts? No. Yet we claim it is free SHS. So what is free about people going through the normal process and not passing? People going through it, and at the end of the day, people cannot even come out with better quality education. Look, people have gotten a lot of A's, but trust me, Kwame, when you sit them in various places for them to write simple calculations or simple English, it becomes a problem. So I ask again, why are our leaders trying to destroy our education? Because in their days, is that how education was being done? In those days, Kwame, and in those days, Honorable, you bear me witness, in those days, education was, we hold education in the high esteem. These days, what happens? People, it's just free because let's push them through. Let's use it, push them through. After all, it has become one of our campaign message. So when somebody even fails in a classroom, they don't repeat the person. They say, oh, let him go through. And when the person is done with the third year and it's nothing to write home about, now who calls up? Is it not your campaign promise who calls up? It's a campaign promise. So let us not do campaign, let us not do politics with our education. Over the years, since we changed from O-level, A-level to SS, it has been back and front, back and front. Today, this one will come and say, let's do it 4 years. The next day, somebody else will come and say, let's do it 3. It is not helping us. Look at the number of people, the kind of students we've been bringing up over the years. See, this free SHS, I am not condemning it entirely. But look, Kwame, let's be truthful to ourselves. The first batch of this free SHS, they are supposed to be in university, right? What are they coming out to do?
I don't know.
Yes, you may not know because we push them through. How can you have education and the whole Minister of Education buying Pasco for students to study, to go and pass? And then even these people, they also got a Pasco, right? And the president will go out there not being ashamed. They should be ashamed for buying Pasco for students to pass. And then you come and say, oh, let me glorify myself and say, my boys have passed. 300 A's out of over 400,000 students. And you think something good has come out of it. He himself, when he attended A-level and O-level, was the same. Is it the same quality of education that he enjoyed? It's not the same thing. Yes, things has changed over the years. But look, that's why I'm saying that you go to some countries, from the onset, students are being taught how to even manufacture mobile phones.
Absolutely.
We are more of theory more than the practical. So the students comes out and nothing practical. That is why you see us winning various competitions. When we go international, then zero. So what is it that you will be in your country and then you say you are champion? When you go outside, you are ground zero. It doesn't make sense. For me, the president's pronouncement that free SHS has become a success and that we should praise him for that. Yes, we will praise him for bringing that policy. But he should also know that he rushed in implementing it. That is why we find ourselves where we are. Because as we speak, if we had taken our time to implement it, we will not be having this disco light, red, gold, green, and the rest. People going for various shifts, and we don't even know, people getting pregnant, and people, I mean, there's a whole lot of confusion about this free SHS. But still, they will stand on their grounds and claim it is working perfectly. It is not.
All right.
They should let Ghanaians know the truth. Kwame, let's stop buying Pasco for them and see what will happen. I am challenging them that the next exams, they should stop buying Pasco.
Oh, Dr. Nawani's daughter there should pass.
Oh no, but Kwame, do you know what he went to?
The question
do you know the number of classes?
No,
the daughter attended.
I'm not talking about the class. You are saying that we should stop buying Pasco for them. I'm saying that when we stop buying Pasco, for them, some other students will be able to pass, some others wouldn't.
But so it means it's not free because the parents will have to pay extra to ensure that the awards pass.
Oh, but during our time we didn't buy Pasco, but we passed.
But Kwame, during our time, you know for a fact that that is not the kind of education we have now.
In Achimasa for St. Paul's Community Secondary School, we even didn't have a lot of teachers like that.
Kwame,
but we passed.
Kwame,
we didn't have teachers.
You can imagine.
It's not an exception. Yeah, you have to teach yourself. Let me.
It was a discipline.
Absolutely. Because you see, what we're also doing is that we are creating the impression that because it's free SHS, somebody must also teach you. Sort of, okay, not somebody must force you to learn.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless you're telling me that the teachers are not able to teach them well. Because the teachers are able to teach them well. Schools like Infante Pim, Infante Man Girls, Wesley Girls, Holy Child, what other school? Okras.
Yeah, Okwapiman.
You know, Abri Girls, Prempe College, Popuare. Presec is not a school. Achimota School.
Yes.
Achimasa for secondary school.
Girls.
Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You will find people passing. Yeah. Equally, in those schools, you will still find people failing.
Yeah, it's true.
What I'm trying to establish is that we should begin to instill some discipline in our kids.
Yeah.
I think it's just a generational problem. I don't know if I'm getting. You understand? Dr. Nawani's daughter or son will pass not because maybe Dr. Nawani is paying extra, but if Dr. Nawani was paying extra teaching for her and she was not studying, now she pass.
And that's another.
It's not.
That's another thing. Yeah.
And what she wants.
Yeah.
A lot of the young people we have now do not care. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's true.
All they care about is social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, misbehaving, fooling.
Yeah.
That's all they care. So, in as much as, but one can also blame free SHS for all of this, because people who were not supposed to, for instance, be in school at that material at that particular time, having failed, were still forced to go to school.
Yeah.
If we had given them the opportunity to, for instance, rewrite some of the papers that they failed, whilst in jails and things like that, perhaps we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Then you can actually get students who are willing and ready and able, because not everybody wants to go to the senior high school, for instance. You understand what I'm saying? So it is a systemic failure. And what we are doing is that we are breeding half-baked intellectuals, and that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And we are failing to appreciate that, because it's a generational problem. Now, how do we address the generational imbalances? That should be the question. How do we ensure that our current educational system finds expression in the generational change? That is what we should be addressing now. Because during our time, we lacked teachers. It was not free SHS. People were in village, rural senior high schools. And my mate, one of my mates, he had splendid grades. He was doing business. Splendid grades. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did fairly well too. But we were in a village. There are people who went to first and they failed. It's about discipline. So we must begin to bring back that moral discipline into our schools. I'm not asking for any child to be framed or killed or beaten. But those practices where you dare be misbehaving at Chimazavu, the way the teacher will beat you. Yes.
Oh, yes.
I think that we should not. We are looking at globalization. Things have changed. We are in a digitalized world and things like that now. And morally, there's a serious decay. There's a serious moral decadence in our social fabric. And that is translating into our educational system. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem. It is nobody's fault. It is the fault of the student. Do they learn? Do they commit themselves? These are the fundamental questions that we should be asking.
No, Kwame, but if you say that it is the fault of the student, that will be...
look, we often know.
Trying to put everything...
Dr. Nawani,
Look,
has your daughter come to blame any teacher? Don't stop these things. No. When a student, you see, we have that problem. Hold on. When a student fails, they say teacher and answer my dear.
Yeah.
When they pass, they say I'm intelligent.
But the teacher who taught you to pass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we should stop. If the student is disciplined enough,
he will be able to.
They will be able to pass. Even if they don't even pass, or at least they will pass.
Yeah.
Quite convincingly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Have you seen the grades? Have you seen the results?
But Kwame,
and I'm telling you because I am on social media. You are not on social media. And I'm telling you what happens on social. Dr. Nawani there, for example, on Facebook. You go and see the message from his college friends. It's okay. It's not a few of them.
Yeah, but that
he's not on social media. He's not on TikTok.
Yeah.
If you see what primary, now even primary students. If you see what they are doing on social media, you'll be surprised. Let's face the reality.
Yeah, but the system also counts, As we speak now, I think the primary school division, they've been running the system for the past 3 or 4 years without textbooks. They are yet working on the textbooks.
Yeah.
And for 3 to 4 years.
That's what we'll talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so all this also comes to play.
Yes.
We're talking of infrastructure.
Yes.
We're talking of the exposure of the student, the teacher-student, exposure time.
Yes.
Which is very, very important.
Yes.
I know that yes, parents have to play a role in the education of your children, but Kwame, how we used to revere our teachers. Sometimes we even say that, which means that this my child, this is in your care, and it has to bring out the best out of that particular child. So we can't blame. Currently, let me tell you, this generation have got a lot of temptations, more than our generation. Our time, I remember there was only one program that I think they all used to go and look at television. Danso and go. That was in the 70s and possibly early 80s. These were the 2 programs that you see me leaving my books to go and watch. But look at today.
You see, and that's
all
these things are part of it. Yes. They are not relevant. They are very part of it. They're very part of
very good. And so there's the need. You see, so the need for the teacher-student interaction to increase is there. So that once you give them the opportunity to sit alone, the next thing is their phone.
I'm telling you.
And where they go, I don't know.
I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you where they go. We go on TikTok. You know what is TikTok? You know what TikTok is?
I've seen people dancing on me.
You see? Sometimes I wonder why. Because even me, sometimes I wonder why I'm on social. Because you just take a picture and you post. What is that? You know what I'm saying?
but Kwame,
currently what we need to do is to find antidotes to some of these problems. And the antidotes, I believe, is that these students need more interaction with their teachers, more interaction in the classroom, so that when they come home and they are doing their so-called social media, it could be for some few hours, but they've had everything, of course, whilst they were in school.
Oh, social media is necessary because they need to bond. But you see, there's something that he raised, but didn't force the argument out, which has to do with even the television programs that we watch.
Yeah.
Right now, what do they show on our TV stations?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You find if you watch TV and then you are shocked the kinds of programs that you see, and these are the things which are culturally influencing our young people, our younger generation. These how do they call them? So there's no soap operas. How do they call them? Telenovelas. I'm telling you.
Indian
I'm telling you.
Indian tenchi.
And everything finds expression in education.
Yeah.
You might think education is just sitting in the classroom and things like that, but all of these things are very relevant.
Yeah, that's true.
Are very relevant.
Yeah.
What do we learn on our television stations?
Yeah.
What do the TV stations show? What message are they putting out there? Yeah. These are very crucial.
But Kwame, I was wondering what informed the president to talk about free being very successful. Because look, if you compare some results coming out from, let me say, the hinterland, like you said, various schools, not the grade A schools, ask yourself, is it the same quality as compared to the Okwapemans, the Infantipim, the Wegihis, and the rest? If you take a school like Jamna Kenteng, was the results good enough for him to say it is a success? If you take a place like Ubina LA SHS, how did the results come out?
You see, let me read paragraphs from what the president said.
Okay.
And I want us to be very focused on what the president has said and whether it finds expression in logic. Listen to the president. And listen. Fourth paragraph. This is the New Crusading Guide newspaper. Fourth paragraph says, without an education populace. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit. According to the president, for the 5 years on following the implementation of the free senior high school program, which has guaranteed a minimum of senior high school education for 1.6 million Ghanaian children. 1.6 million Ghanaian children.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to state without any equivocation that I'm very proud of the policy and of its results thus far. Speaking at the 70th anniversary celebration of the Tamale Senior High School in Tamale, the president stressed that the experiences of developed nations have shown that the most efficient way to create a society of opportunities and thereby guarantee the future of a nation is by investing in education and skills training for the youth. Without an educated populace, he stated that Ghana cannot transition from the status of a developing to a developed nation, adding that it is the people of Ghana, Ghanaians like you and I, and especially the youth today, who are going to build Ghana. The results of the 2020-2021 WASSCE results, the president stated, give further evidence of why the free SHS policy has been a success thus far. There were some who described free SHS as a waste, and some said it would destroy our Ivy League schools, and some indicated that the policy was going to compromise the quality of senior high school. None of these have happened. I am sure they have eggs on their faces now, or should have, the president said. And then he goes on to say that he continued the 2021 WASSCE results of the second batch of the Kufuor graduates shows 54.08% of students recording A1 to A6 in English, as opposed to 51.6% in 2016. Goes on and on. We are looking at about 1.6 million people.
And you have 300 having.
And you have 300 having this, and you are happy. And or even if you have 50%, 54%. Let's assume that you have 54% out of this 1.6 million. How many of them failed?
That's the question.
So it is not about, and for me, even the argument about having an educated populace will ensure nation building. What's an educated populace? What are we educating? Are the people really imbibing the educational principles and policies, or whatever it is that, you know, or the curriculum that we are imbibing in them? Do they understand the concepts? That's the most important thing. It's not just about taking people through senior high school and saying that, oh, they've gone to senior high school, so they are, because they've gone to senior high school, automatically they are educated. What kind of logic is that?
When they come out of school, what do they do?
What kind of logic is the president trying to
More unemployment.
I mean, how do you say that because somebody has gone to senior high school, the person is educated? What kind of logic is that?
Kwame.
I'm really tired.
Kwame, don't close. Sometimes when you listen to some of these statements, but you don't have to, because sometimes some of these statements, it weakens us.
It does.
It weakens us.
Because your logic is that once you take your child to school, they are educated.
They are educated. And when they come out of school, what next?
Because everything around them takes out the education that you are talking about. The TV programs we have, it takes out the relevance of the education they are gaining from school. What do they do with the things that they are being taught in school? What do they come out to do? You know, now when people, for instance, even in the media schools, for instance, are around.
Yeah.
When they come and you give them assignment, that's when you know whether they've been educated or not. I'm telling you.
It's true.
I'm telling you. They know. They know. They know. When they come and you give them assignment, oh, write a simple story for me. That's when you know whether they've been educated or not. It's not about people going through SHS. What is that? That's what I want to thank you. Thank you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day. My name is Kwame.
It's not 10 yet, Kwame.
It doesn't have to be 10. It doesn't have to be 10. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.